Well, with my 72 hours in Monster Hunter Wilds, now I'm finally breaking down some of my favorite tracks. And I think my absolute favorite is got to be Ray Dow's theme. Now, I covered this a little bit in the beta, but let's sit down and break it down even further. An amazing theme for an amazing fight. Here we go. A little doo-dook in there. Nice, heavy. Nice offset. Some vocals in there. Yeah, descending scale. Nice brass. Little delayed onset. That's cool. Little proof of a hero in there. Nice suspension there with the strings. I love the lightning bolt sound. And that slam. You get a little bit of that crunch of the electrical fire. God, that violin is so powerful. I love this doo-dook, the desert sound. It's just such a like a clash. I love how ferocious that is. Wow. And then these offsets. This is interesting. It actually lands on the weak beat, I think. Big heavy emphasis on the unison movement descending down like that. This pullback is amazing here. Nice horns in the back. It's so many horns in this piece. And the entire soundtrack. I love it. It starts. And then it comes in. A little bit of space. That little flute is ever so light. And then we. Big brass here. Big again. Re-emphasizing it with the full strings that we'll be having that flute. Big hit. Big hit. Big hit. Big hit. Unison brass up top. And we had this real. Oh man. Little bit of a mountain theme there. Chase theme. Oh my god, I mean, like, could you imagine it? Oh, it's it's so good. It's so good. Like, that is just like such a joyful experience. The ferociousness of Ray Dow is so apparent in this music. This piece, and where Ray Dow appears in the game, there's so much tension in this music that you don't necessarily feel with the other Apex Predators. And Ray Dow consistently is my favorite fight due to how voracious and tenacious and terrifying and relentless this monster is. First of all, it's a gorgeous being. I love that the side of it's got that gem shimmer when you see it, when it flies overhead of you. It's such a majestic being. And more than anything, what you're really hearing is those sharp thunderbolt clashes. And you hear that incredible move that when you're using a sword and a shield or a charge blade or a gun lance or what have you, you can block. One of the most amazing things as a Swack's main was being able to counter both in sword mode and in shield mode these huge sweeps, and especially when he dive bombs, man, being able to counter that with a sword and shield. I just did it the other day. He'll go up, and then I say, boom, ba ba da da, ba 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 da da. This is another prime example of this soundtrack having very specific brass. Realistically, this is an incredibly short track. Now, just this particular version of it, right? The actual like motivic writing, pretty small. But what I like about this theme is that it's consistent throughout. Whereas like New Udra, Jindahad, there's some like meandering moments. G Arkveld a little bit as well. This one is just constant. And it's constantly motivically forced. Now, there's so much terrific brass stuff. I mean, we would sit here for an hour and break down every little single detail. And I kind of don't want to do that because we don't need to minuscule it. But let's just rewind and like let's just talk about the first minute in great detail. So right there. So that's what we get underneath. First of all, we get that really cool synthetic thunder, lightning, storm sound. Right. So what you're actually getting over top in the focus of this is that hitting, right? Right off the bat. Listen. Right there. You got dum dum chika dum, right? Listen again. That wail in the trumpets. It's an alarm. You hear how that like is like, oh, Ray Dow's here, right? It's like an invitation to a duel. It's a calling out. It's saying like, what's up? I'm here, bit. You know what I mean? Like it's so like, whoa, we're here. We're ready to go. Then here you're getting ba 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 ba, and that's again Ray Dow is ferocious. And you know, it's interesting, like there's nothing archaic about it, nothing majestic about it, although it's a very majestic fight, nothing remorseful about it. There's no like, oh, he was made in a lab or something. Like this is like just a pure Apex Predator. Ba 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 ba. It's just a scale down. That's just saying like, I'm in the sky, I'm coming down to meet you, I'm pissed. In the upper register, you're getting the mandolin or whatever this guitar, right? That's saying we're here and like you need to move it. You can't just play like you have in the past. You need to step up. And there's a lot of emphasis on strong beat. We're emphasizing big beats there. That's like a recurrent theme throughout this piece. And the recurrent theme of pulsating like that, now it could be the thunder and lightning, or it could be like focus, right? To me, it's like focus. And Ray Dow is really vicious. Like there's not a lot of thoughts in there. There's, you're in my space and I need you to leave. But it does so in a way that's so brutal that is just like, makes your eyes just like peel back, you know? And then this is glorious, this violin. Isn't that an incredible setup though? Listen how it goes, and then right over top you go, it's saying you don't deserve to be here. You don't belong here. This is my space. It's very territorial, right? Now check it out. And then the doo-doo comes in. I hope it's a doo-doo. Symbolizing the desert. And it's saying like, this is my home. You really shouldn't be here, you bastard. Growing, swelling, increasing. Bow, bow, Right? And again, that's the Clash. That's the Clash. Get off my fucking lawn. There's so much intensity in that. What makes it amazing is where it sits. First of all, it's huge. So we have the full orchestra doing that. Then on top of that, we're also, it's just like a really like incredible so we're going down, down, up, down again, not that many notes, and then you get thump, 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 repeating it twice. And that is, again, the emphasis there, bum, 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 bum. So much emphasis and power and repetition. Oh man, this section's like mental. Cha, da, da. So that's trumpets, and then underneath you're actually getting this beautiful tuba or the sousaphone or tuba. Well, sousaphone is a walking, you would walk with this. Anyway, it's unrelated, but it's a tuba. So the tuba or the lower trombone's really present in the lower register there. And again, this is really about personifying the storm. And you could argue that Ray Dow is, don't hate me for this, is the storm that is approaching. Ray Dow's theme is the theme of lightning and thunder, of like an elemental being, right? Almost like a god, right? Almost like Raiden from Mortal Kombat or the Raiden Shogun from Genshin Impact, like Zeus, you know, like psh, lightning bolt, psh, lightning bolt. I mean, the thing gets struck by lightning, nothing happens. In fact, it gets charged up and then it just zooms in and does that beam attack, and it's just so mighty. And that's really ultimately like the scope of the music, right? I'm sorry, I'm like so like, but it's like, it's one of my favorite, it's my favorite theme probably in all the fights. And it's just so intense. I could sit here and break apart every little detail, but actually like, it's one that you just gotta like feel. Isn't it amazing too? So then it was cool here is that we get this twinkling, we get just the tiniest of breaks before we get these offset, not to be confused with offset moves. We get these little offset rhythms. Bum, ba, 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 bum, ba, 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 bum. That's supposed to represent the spontaneity of the thunder, the impossibility of being able to pinpoint when the blast is going to happen, whether it's a blast from Ray Dow or it's a blast from the thunder and lightning. It's a very mixed fight, both with the environment and also with the monster itself. But you could also argue that the monster is the environment and the element that it's actively that's pervading it. Right there. Isn't that cool? I mean, I think it's like, it's got to be on the ba-pum. So part of it's because there's a musical setup. There's almost an appoggiatura. An appoggiatura is a note that comes before the main note in the beat. Ba-pum, ba-pum. So it'd be like, ya, ya. It's a little bit of an accent right before it. Ha ha. It's a little extra note called an appoggiatura. And so there you're getting ba-pum. It's almost like the appoggiatura is on the strong beat, and then because it's hitting on the weak beat, so if it's in 4/4, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4 being the strong beats, there's stuff in between those. So it's almost like it's ba-pum, ba-pum. The short note is coming on the 1, and then the big beat's coming on the 2. 2 and 4 are the weak beats in a 4/4 time signature. All that to say, like, it's really powerful how it feels like the small note is on the main beat, the 1 and the 3, versus the 2 and the 4. It gives a sense of imprecision, which is really exciting. And again, unrelenting, you hear it. The strings are also doubled. There's tons of doubling in this. So this sounds massive because of how much there is being played together at the same time, just in different parts of the staff by different instruments. So what that does is it creates a massive sound. And even though Ray Dow is not massive, the Sky is. And I think it also it's like the sheer power within it too, you know? It's not elegant. It's not elegant. It's very brutal. And then there too, descending down like that, very impactful. I think because it's like I'm landed, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like there's that, and then we get this really chill moment where it's like, whoa. gotta collect myself. You know what I mean? Because it's like you're so overloaded and assaulted by Ray Dow that you like don't have a moment to breathe. It's like, holy, what the fuck? You know what I mean? It's like on top of me. And then you get this moment where it's like, there it is. Look at it. Oh my God, it's terrifying. It's majestic. And then that's the other thing too, is that the upper flute there. It's like capturing something. It's like seeing it. It's like feasting your eyes on this, like essentially like this like manifestation of like a miracle, like a religious experience of seeing Ray Dow, of like, oh my God, look at that thing. You know, it's like, oh my God, I never imagined that this thing existed. And there's almost like a slight decorum or respect that you have towards Ray Dow, because it will beat the crap out of you. And then it's really sneaky here, because then listen to this. Listen, I'm going to play for you and then I'm going to talk about it. So isn't that cool? So you actually get, in the background, you get ba-dum, 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 and then the rest of the orchestra joins it. So we have the flute on top being the soloist, and then you have ta-dum, 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 ta-dum. And then that's also very exciting, because it kind of comes out of nowhere, and it's as if Ray Dow just goes, comes up behind you. It's like, what's up, motherfucker? You know what I mean? Like, that's really exciting as well, because we have that adrenaline there. Ta-dum, ta-dum. Oh shit, he's right there. You know what I mean? Like, that's what that represents, I think. And then here too, listen to this. Dum, da, 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 dum, dum. So that's on strong beats, but da, 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 da. But this is really like flitting around like this. It's like moving from side to side, I think. There's a real, again, like there's just precision in the movement in this particular section, where you just like, you're trying to get a hit in, but the thing is like jumping up and down, slamming down, flitting, floating. It's crazy, right? Now we reset. And then there too, you get these real powerful hits in the upper trumpets. And I think part of what makes it exciting too is that the trumpets are in there, kind of the upper register. So they go, right? It's like, oh, that's just like a real like tell that the composer wants us to be afraid, because it's like, high, low, right? It steps down. In this section here, again, we get taken over by this gorgeous violin, and the violin is really kind of somber with the way that it like presses into it. Lots of diminished in there, a lot of accidentals, which accidentals are sharps and flats, or if you ever looking at a piano, black keys are like sharps and flats, and then the white is just like, you know, just white keys, notes. And the sharps, you know, it's all part of the scale depending on what key it's in. And in this particular case, we're probably like going down the scale and leaning into a black key that's you know, kind of accenting a moment of tension. It's usually, if it's diminished, it's like slightly out of the chord structure. I'm not a theory guy. Like I'm here to express the emotion. My background's as an opera singer. There are other channels like Davivas channel that if you want like specifics, I bet you he goes into great detail about sharps, flats, dissonance. Personally, I'm actually more interested in what makes it sound so XYZ emotional. But yeah, there's definitely some dissonance as we're coming down, something that's out of the chord or out of the key that is like, oh, like, whoa, oh, you know, it makes you kind of like sit up a little bit. That's usually what that is. And it's really exciting because it helps the tension more than anything, you know? We get a little moment here. This is really cool too. So here, what's also really cool, check this out. Let me rewind really quick. Listen to this. You get a reset of the bar, and so you have this constant that's kind of keeping us moving forward, right? Then we get ba, ba, and that it's essentially like a re-emphasis of the notes that's playing in the right hand. I'm thinking about it in the upper register, so don't misconstrue. Left is usually lower, right is usually higher. In piano, the left is usually the accompaniment, so it's this part, and the right hand is going ha, ha. So when I say right or left, that's what I mean. Right here, check out how cool this is. Ha, ha. You hear how there's ever so slightly choir. I never picked this up on this. There's just a tiny bit of choir that's just like, whoa, majesty, majestic, terrifying. You know, those are the kind of feelings that come across in that little section for me. Really powerful how we're continuing though. We're not stopping. We're continuing to pursue. But it's like kind of scary. Oh no. Oh, that's where that comes in for me, right? And then we culminate here. Right there. We reset. Notice that there we just have. We're just resetting. That's just a little bit of space. We continue the movement because we have to, but we're just resetting. We're not putting anything over top. It's just the rhythm, just the rhythm moving us. And then right there, beautiful flute. There's our motif. Suspension. We're suspending outward. Right. Now we're unison. Hit, 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 hit. Now we're back. Unison, lower brass. You hear it? Together. Da, 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 da. Right there. Space, violin, brutal. A little bit of enharmonic dissonance there. Strings repeat what we just heard. Da, 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 ta. Build, 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 build. Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's ferocious. It's incredible. It's definitely like the best theme in Monster Hunter Wilds for me. I know we've heard it a lot. It was in the beta. There are other themes that are really good. G-Arc-Vel, Jindahad, Nudra, you know, Wounded Hollow, Proof of a Hero. But like when it comes to pure like adrenaline and getting hyped up and excited and just wanting to jam out to it, Ray Dow's theme, no competition. Hope you enjoyed this video. It was a lot of fun. I am sweating. Thanks a ton, and I'll see you later.